And we're also talking and bantering a bunch, too. June 16th, 9:46 a.m., District Court Defendant Lobby, number 2.
Huh. Mr. Wright's not here today. He said his old foot injury was acting up. Old injury. It was all smiles yesterday. Yes, he smiled when he said we'd be fine, as long as you're there, Trucy. Yeah, fine. We'll be fine. Here comes justice. I started my voice training at 5 this morning. Ooh, do some now. I want to see. Or, here. Huh? Oh, okay. I am. My name is Apollo Justice, and I'm fine. That sounds more like a self-mantra than the voice training.
I'm fine.
I'm fine.
I'm fine. You know what I'm saying?
You think it's him? Yeah, there he is. Ah, good morning.
Yo, sup? Hit me with a guilty verdict, G. See if I care. You just hang loose and let things go with the flow. You know what I'm saying?
Not really.
Rocky, don't be running your mouth like that in here. See, that's the difference between you and me, old man. I ain't afraid of no cops. Real G's can't keep it real until they spend some time in the hard in the pen. You have absolutely no idea what you're talking about.
Sounds like they've both been voice training too, Apollo. My worst fear is realized. The trial's starting and I still haven't had a real talk with my client.
June 16th, 10 a.m. at District Court, courtroom number 4.
Yeah, there he is.
He's tall.
Court is now in session for the trial of Walkie Kataki. The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Rocket ready to rock and roll here, Judge.
Tim, the guy from yesterday, he's a prosecutor. It's Mr. Gavin's brother. Long time no see, Prosecutor Gavin. Were you taking a leave of absence?
You know, a little band I started with in my free time. Thing is, we got real popular. Hard to say in the end to your own fans to get 3 of your singles go platinum, Ja.
I see. To be honest, I was a little concerned. I feared that you might still be distraught over that one trial. Oh.
7 years ago, question mark? Not to worry here, Judge. I wouldn't miss a day in court for the world. It's worth even more than VIP passes to one of my concerts, yeah? How could I pass up a chance to see the true strength of the little boy who bested my brother? It was worth canceling a show or two.
Understood.
And the judge's not even questioning it. He's just like, yep, this seems normal. Let's just move on.
You may give your opening statements to the court.
Before that, I was thinking. Is the air in this courtroom not a bit serious?
It is a court of law.
That's no way to get into the crowd jumping here, Judge.
They're not supposed to jump. This is a courtroom.
Achtung, baby! Today, we play it my way.
What's that noise?
Rock and roll! Sometimes you have to get up in the order to get down to prosecute.
This is crazy.
The victim, Pal Maractus, director of Maractus Clinic. The scene, People Park. He was found pulling a noodle stand.
What in the world is the doctor doing pulling a noodle stand?
Yes, I believe. You will only find that out by asking the defendant right here, right now. Because it's undeniable. It's an undeniable truth that he shot the victim.
What do you mean, undeniable?
If you were to glare at anyone here, just glare at the punk in the defendant's chair. His crime was witnessed quite clearly, you see.
Very well. Please admit this witness to the court. Oh my God. Oh my Lord.
I love him already. Him? Not yet. First, there's a little matter to be cleaned up.
Could you talk without the accompaniment? I swear I could see the guilt guitar for a second. What is it, Prosecutor Gavin?
The motive here, Judge. Why did the little punk do it? Why did he kill the director of a miraculous clinic?
Objection!
Not so fast. The defendant doesn't have to explain that.
Oh, but what if the defendant specifically requests to do so, as he did this morning? I want to give a shout out to all my homies, I believe he said.
What? What is right? They always say that on stage. You should hit the crowd with speed and ferocity. Sounds like he got you good, huh, Polly? Well, this is highly unusual, but the court will now hear from the defendant concerning his motive of the crime. So, you, son, are the defendant. Walkie, are you?
I ain't your son, old man. Step into Kentucky, you best be prepared to step strong. You step to the public official. You'd best be prepared to step in jail.
You got to hand it to him. Walkie sure has guts. It's not his guts I'm worried about. Well then, the court will now hear the testimony on the defendant's motive. From the defendant himself. I still wonder who the witness is.
Yeah. It's probably someone new. Probably someone
So
we
we
haven't
have to
seen yet.
So we probably have to stop the motive here, though. And
Oh,
like,
yeah.
prove it unrelated. Okay, let's go. Let's do this.
I'll tell you one thing, that doctor was a quacker. Someone had to show him what's what. I was in the clinic about half a year ago. He messed up my arm something bad. Then he just let me go, without a word. See you later, bye. So I gotta go in, get another doctor, patch me up again. That was the day I figured it out. No OG's gonna let that pass. That's why I went to his pad that night, knowing what I'm saying.
Pad? What pad? You're saying you were one of the victim's patients?
Lots of stuff goes down when you keep it real on the street. True that. I'll tell you one thing, that doc was a whack.
Very well, the defense may begin to cross-examination. I can't believe this is the first I'm hearing about all of this. First of all, the word you're looking for is quack. And isn't it a little harsh? He's your family doctor.
Who asked you, Portalax? Just who do you think you are?
Your lawyer?
Look, I ain't trying to hear that. He's a quacker, plain and simple.
By someone, you mean... Was there anyone with a score to settle with his doctor? Besides you, I mean?
You better ask somebody else. You better ask somebody else, Holmes. What do I care? I made up my own mind and did what I'd done. Straight up gangsta style.
Why are you so mad at this doctor?
Yo, sit back and listen while I drop it, G-Man. This clinic about half a year ago, you messed up my ops something bad. Oh.
So you were a patient at the Maractus Clinic half a year ago. For what reason?
I had what you might call a mock of honor.
That's you?
Can you explain precisely what was wrong? Well, the run-in with the rival families. That's when I pulled a Jack move. Okay, so the culprit, the witness is probably gonna be someone from the rival family.
Yeah.
And ran into an ambush. She busted a cap right in me. According to my sources, you couldn't stand with the stress of waiting, and ran in 15 minutes before your appointed time by yourself. Hey, I was more than a match for those guys.
So you carried from the Maractus Clinic from there?
Apparently, he was shot in the heart. Shot to the heart, and you're too
And he's
late.
still alive. Oh, I read it. I can catch bullets between my teeth, but I never learned how to catch them with my heart.
The bullet stopped just short of my thumper. You know what I'm saying? I would have been golden if it weren't that whack doc. Can't even take out a stupid bullet.
Interesting.
So, you're saying surgery was a failure? That ain't all of it, Holmes. And then he just let me go without a word. You see ya? Bye.
What do you mean he just let you go without a word?
What do you think it means? It's whack. That's what.
I'm not sure what that means, but it seems bad.
Sounds like a Sounds like the here doctor is trying to hide his mistake. That's why he let the defendant go. He's a liar, straight up. Blabbering cheese, that's me. Look, I go in and get another doctor to patch me up again.
Okay. So this bullet is still...
You know it, I can still feel it. Right here in my chest, pressing up against my heart. Your words are like a bullet shot straight into my heart. Or something to that effect. Incidentally, that from one of our single hit singles.
Well, that sounds like a straightforward case of malpractice.
What, G-Man? Weren't no accident for shizzle.
It seems that there were issues with the doctor. With this doctor.
Man, put him down was like doing the world a favor.
Walkie, please consult your lawyer before saying things like that. Chin up, Apollo. Back straight. Back straight. Posture check. But why did this mistake only come to light that day?
It was found during a family health checkup.
A family checkup.
It's the wackest thing of all, man. All us G's lining up, taking vaccines and all that. Better die young than fade away, boy. A relief to hear. Eh? What a relief. Oh, did your father not tell you? That bullet you carry so close to your heart is not attended to immediately. It could kill you.
What?
Someone get this kid a doctor. How old is he?
Like in 20s?
He's 19. Someone get this boy a doctor. The victim's 46. Yeah, someone get this kid a doctor, please. Yes? Or Dr. Maractus had a knowledge concerning this ticking time bomb in view. Knowledge that could have saved your life.
No way.
That's whack.
Sorry.
There is proof. Check your checkup report.
Oh, we gotta read this one thoroughly.
How ironic that how ironic that you would kill the one man capable of helping you. Patient name, Waki Taki, age 19, male, report filed June 14th. Notes.
What year?
Metallic object found near heart, urgent exam needed. They never specify years.
Yeah. So the day before the murder.
Oh yeah, so yeah, that was the day before. No, June 14th.
And he finds out on June 14th.
Oh, it's the same day.
Same day, actually.
Hold on a second, wait. Waki was making it sound like him getting shot was a little while ago, but this is the same day. You're almost careless as he was.
Shouldn't he be in like patched up right now? Like when was this? A year ago, or was this like a couple days ago? Because if he is the way he is right now, if he got shot the night of, that means he was for sure in the bullet fight. When was the exchange of bullets? It had to be a different time. Because he said a year ago, right?
Okay, I don't think I can go that far back.
He said he was in a gunfight a year ago.
Yeah, something's off.
Because if he were shot near the heart, and he wouldn't have enough time to operate on him.
Now that's the
patch
place
him up
that
and
is hopping. Let's get this gig started.
Started.
We've had enough of a warm-up act, yeah? Time to hear from the witness.
Waki sure quiet all of a sudden. I'm a little uneasy myself. Is this Gavin's strategy?
Hello.
What?
So, will you tell us your name and occupation?
You're doing him.
Come on. Let's see. How do I want to do this one? My name is Wesley Stickler. By occupation, I take it you mean to refer to the profits at large and it still supports a livelihood, which under the dimension I must confess of being unemployed. However, I must acknowledge the meaning of the identity, which is commonly attached to this notion of occupation. Once in a while, I've accepted this reality, of which it are confusion is Dr. Saltburn, such as present vagueness inherent in representations also, by which he means to say that he is a student. I am getting, what was his name?
That old lady.
Game 2 Case 1. Game 2 Case 1.
That's the old lady who rushes it.
No, I'm not thinking old bag. I forget the guy's name. I'll toss it on screen and post edit. A junior at Ivy University, if I'm not mistaken. We've heard of Ivy University before. That is the school I think Phoenix and Iris went to, right?
Yep. Where the murder was too.
Yes. In the Department of Science and Engineering. Filled with curiosity of all things, I spent days in pursuit of truth, honing my... Hey, Stickler! Please direct said curiosity to the case at hand today.
Very well, Mr. Stickler. Please testify to the court about what you saw on the night of the crime. Why was he there?
Yours quite simplistically. Over what I said, I understand the Homo sapiens possess two eyes that are designed to receive the impartial data.
It just fades out.
Oh dear. But with his first rate, you like how I was doing my best to keep up? I did pretty good, honestly, with keeping up on that one. A night in the park. That night, I passed through the park on my way home from the shopping when I saw them. One man holding a stand, another man facing him. Saw them quite clearly. The man facing the victim was the defendant. In his hand, he held, yes, a pistol. It was pointed at the man pulling the stand. A shot! The bullet hit the man pulling the stand from the front, square in the forehead.
But he wasn't holding that. Technically, he was holding a knife.
So where does the knife come into play then?
Was there anyone else in the park at the time?
Because it was 100% accuracy.
That statement's gonna
There
bite him
was
in the ass later.
The pistol was our witness refers to as this.
Ooh, we have a pistol. The court accepted into evidence. Let's see. Very well, Mr. Justice. You may now cross-examine the witness. Can we fingerprint it? Don't look down the barrel of a gun. Whoa, don't point that thing at me. Don't worry, I can handle myself around guns. Magic guns, at least. This one's pigeons that come out of. Very reassuring. Yes, Your Honor. Trucy, why are you staring out like that at the witness? That man. I can't help but feel I've seen him somewhere before.
To tell, Trucy.
Why go through the park?
Fantasizing inquiry. Revealing me culpable of being insufficiently verbose. Let us consider the time saved by passing through the park on the way home from the store. In that time, I am capable of solving 2 geometric problem sets. On average, it requires me 3 minutes 24 seconds. There goes the time to complete 2 is average 6 minutes and 48 seconds. However, in the case of the questions I was verbal category, admittedly I'm not...
That's enough. Yeah, I get the idea. Mr. Justice, the court hopes to finish cross-examination sometime this month.
Please, I recorded a book after this trial.
I've got a show to perform. Gee, sorry you're all so busy. Were these men talking by any chance?
Now that you mention it, they were. Though I cannot claim what I heard them. I heard them clearly. Only fragments such as, "You lied to me," and, "Oh, I'll give you a taste of your medicine, pal." It's just as their defendant claims. I believe he wished to teach the victim a lesson that he could take a bullet to the heart.
If that's true, then this is a vital piece of testimony. Sounds like you heard them clearly enough to me. Hold it.
Might I be allowed to amend my testimony? Why?
Why? What now?
To be precise, he did not say pal, but man. Wait,
if it's not pal...
Waki says pal. I don't think we have anything that proves that.
No, but his name is Pal, right? Like malpractice, Pal.
Oh.
So that swaps huge.
That's the way of it. I swear it on my diploma.
What's the difference? That's a huge difference.
And this other man, who was he?
You're gonna have to hold it. How can you be so sure it was the defendant? The crime took place at night. It would have been too dark.
Perhaps I was remiss in not mentioning this earlier.
Huh?
You see, in class I always sit in the very backmost seat. Do you know why?
Farsighted. Who cares?
Because I do not wish anyone to copy my perfect notes.
And this relates to your testimony how?
I mentioned this to illustrate my predisposition to that which is perfect. It was dark, you say, Yet, there are lights in the park. If I say the defendant was in the park that night, then he was in the park that night. It is hard, immutable fact.
He sure is confident. He seemed to be telling the truth, too. Are you sure the pistol you saw is the same as the one just admitted as evidence?
Am I sure? Surely, you guessed. Or so a common witness would be tempted to say. Yet I am no common witness. See events only as they are, but the logical structure governing these events. With regard to the division due to the emphasis levels of elimination, now we must consider that the pistol that Object A was the darkness has become the cause of Object A and indeed Object A.
I think it means you couldn't see it that clearly. My badge for a normal witness.
Yet the fact that the pistol was fired before my eyes is indisputable. I can still see it when I close my eyes. The defendant raised his weapon. A shot. The bullet hit the man pulling a stand from the front, square in the forehead.
Are you absolutely certain only one shot was fired?
Yes, of course. It was one shot. Why do you ask?
Contradiction, finally.
Wait. Is that?
I would check the stand. Like the...
This guy's 22. Oh! I didn't notice that when we first looked at this. 2 rounds were fired. Fingerprints were white.
White. White.
And here's the thing. If there was fingerprints on this knife, there would be fingerprints on the gun as well. That's another thing.
So why one and not the other? Mr. Tickler, according to the court record, the pistol was fired twice.
Objection!
A clear contradiction.
Good eye, Hand Justice. You're cool. Real cool.
Okay. You really think so?
Yet there's no reason why the shot hadn't been fired that night. Come on.
Meaning?
Come on, Cliver.
We have to find the other shot.
Here.
The pistol came from the Kentucky family mansion.
Sir.
I know, I just realized. I'll be over here.
This pistol came from the Kentucky family mansion, Jack. It's not unreasonable to assume that this pistol had been fired once before that night. During perhaps another altercation. See, here's the saying, Clavier. They figure out this based on the bullets left, mostly. Just depends on how many bullets are remaining in the chamber. So, like, if there was 2 bullets missing from the chamber, that'd be enough reason to assume it was fired twice.
He's got a point.
But him saying that, he'd also have to prove that's the case. Because the prosecution presented that, they'd have to be able to prove that second bullet was from another time, which he legitimately cannot do. Also, we didn't really get to see anything.
You can find another shot in like the front or a hole in something.
Because we don't see any bullet holes anywhere over here. It don't look like there's one in a bucket either.
Judging from his smug expression, I'd say Prosecutor Gavin had the answer ready before he even spotted the problem. He seems pretty confident in his testimony. We always make the biggest mistakes when we're on our most confident. He's got a weak point somewhere, Apollo. Find it. Right. Better give that testimony another look. Listen. We have nothing that could really mess with that right now because we don't have a photo of it, what it looked like. Square in the forehead.
Wait. Aha! Wait a minute.
What do you see?
Point of interest, entry point, right temple.
Ah,
Wait
that's
a
so
minute.
minuscule.
At least I think that's it. Well, we shall see if I'm right.
Objection!
Yes.
Yep, nice.
I was like, cause the thing is, like, I saw him say, I was reading, I was like, forehead. Wait, didn't it say it was the shot was to the temple? So like that'd be right
That's
here.
all of it. Yeah, if that's all of it, I think I have a chance.
Is that you relaxing us? See here, Justice?
Huh, or objection. Once is quite enough, Mr. Justice. Apollo, pace yourself. This trial's not over yet. Eric, right. Look at this. The autopsy report. Is there a problem with the autopsy report? Right, a problem. Yeah, the problem is the location of the entry wound. The location? You testified that the killer shot the victim square in the forehead. Did you not?
I've already determined your angle of inquiry. Allow me to explain. It's quite simple, really. First, I understand when I say square, I do not mean diametrically, absolutely, but by this, for example, the reflection of meters for the wavelengths of light is emitted by the krypton. We all know, in addition to well-known fact that krypton particles are rare, which at which point the basics of fallacy are like reasoning, namely, which.
Mr. Justice. Yes. Was your objection to these krypton particles?
No, it was not. This is a big time and you wasted, and you were obsessed with something so small? You disappoint me.
No, I'm obsessed with something big. I mean, there's a bigger, less nitpicky problem here. Do tell. Just look at the autopsy report. The location of the entry wound was the right temple.
Temple?
Mr. Stickler, you said quite clearly that the victim was shot square in the forehead. That's a contradiction, isn't it?
Apollo, what the heck?
It is, right? Finally.
Objection!
Here, Justice. Oh, here, Justice.
Yes.
Your tactics are outdated, man. Try to check the witness by objecting to travels. Surely you haven't forgotten the fatal wound your master suffered 7 years ago.
Your master.
Is he referring to Phoenix?
And he lived something near fatal? Okay.
Phoenix Wright, was it?
Mm-hmm. Look, I knew the wound was the wrong place according to this testimony.
Look at that face! What the heck? You should say, oh, sweet, no, my perfect, no. Hey, here, forehead.
Forehead.
Let us imagine you're walking through the park. You see two men facing each other. One with a pistol trained on the other. What would you do here, forehead?
Well, I guess I would try to stop them. I'd probably shout stop.
And you, Fraudain?
Me? Well, I'd probably scream eek.
And you, Herr Stickler? What did you shout, I wonder?
Act. The victim turned his head at the last moment. Go.
Then he can't testify that he actually saw the moment of the kill. Easy as that. Yes,
yes,
thank you for jogging my memory. You wanted me to be this guy, now you're trying to read his lines. What do you make up your mind, sir?
Sorry. It seems like an addendum to the testimony is required. Here we go.
Soon as the
He
killer took
action.
action, I raised my. As soon as the killer raised his pistol, I retook action. Caesar said wants you to. I cried with composure. The victim turned in the direction of the voice, and a shot rang out. Oh, so he shot towards you?
We need to know the perspective, because if he shot the right of his temple, he looked left, which would put his temple in the right spot. If he was on the wrong side,
at least from that picture, it showed us, like they would both turn this way, and then it would be the guy's left temple.
no, it would hit his right temple because he's the guy pulling the stand who got shot, right?
No,
So the guy pulling the stand has to
they're
look
facing,
left.
They're facing each other like this, and they both turn like this. This is the culprit. Like
Yeah.
I think my camera's mirrored, but this would be the victim's left side right here, where the shot would go.
Yeah. But what direction does the guy in the cart have to turn his head?
He's turning to the right, so the right side is facing the cart. His right side is facing the cart now.
We need to go back to that picture because he looked left, and when you look left, you're exposed the right side of your head.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll show us that picture again though. Whereupon our cowardly killer, the defendant, appeared to become frightened. Tossing a pistol aside, he fled from the scene.
What? That makes no sense.
Huh?
So you attempted to stop the crime.
Indeed, with composure.
Well, maybe the criminal wouldn't have fired if you hadn't shouted like that. That doesn't really matter now, unfortunately.
Let us consider this new testimony, shall we? Observe this diagram, if you would.
Here we are. Yeah, he has to look left, exposing his right side.
Yep, there we go. So yeah, they both go down. Yeah, actually, no, that would put the victim's right side towards where the killer is.
Yeah, he was shot on the right side of the head.
So that does line up, so that's not really a contradiction to anything.
Yeah.
The witness, Mrs. Stickler, was it? Stood here. Shouted, "Oh, stop, please," or something of that nature. And then the victim responded by looking in the witness's direction. Killer would have fired just at that moment. They both would have struck right temple, as in the report.
That does seem to be the case.
I think I see where this is going. So we'll probably have to press him, and we're gonna get him to mention that the killer was on his left. Not the victim was on his left, and then we're like, so then like Cliver's position of where they are is on the wrong side.
Yeah.
Witness the power of a junior of an Ivy University's Department of Science.
Very well, Mr. Justice, you may cross-examine the witness. I took action.
Hold it!
Oh, I didn't mean to hit press. Yeah. We'll go with it.
You didn't try to apprehend the criminal?
It all happened so fast. I'm afraid I had the time.
Something about that struck you as odd, Apollo? What? The killer was in a hurry, right? He fired the pistol and tossed it right away. According to the testimony, that's what happened, yes? In that case, I'd expect to find something that we didn't find. Find something. Find what? I like that contradiction. Kind of sad to see it go. Not as sad as I feel. What do we do now? At least the testimony's getting a little clearer. Good, maybe I can find something to use in this new testimony. If he dropped the pistol...
Okay, this is the one I wanted to go back and press. Okay, turn in a voice. Where were you?
Did you hear the gunshot at the same time as the victim turned?
Indeed. I would say about the same time, to be precise.
The victim didn't ask you for help.
It can be said that he didn't have time to ask. He didn't even have time to take a single step.
I'm pretty sure that the killer fired because Mr. Stickler startled him. Don't say that too loud, Trucy, please. Can you describe the killer's action more clearly?
Seemed quite surprised, especially considering that it was he who did the deed. As we can see, human psychology is tangled web indeed. He simply couldn't believe what he had done. He shot, he panicked, a common tale, but true. Unfortunately, but I could take further action. Before I could take further action. Okay, so need to press these in.
So you saw a raised pistol, weren't you frightened?
Can be said we students of Ivy University know no fear. The moment I saw the pistol, my inner sense of justice compelled me to take action.
Oh, certainly brave of you. You might have gotten shot.
You certainly was lucky. If I was in the killer's shoes, I would have certainly wouldn't have left a witness behind.
He actually looks like he had no idea he was in danger.
I don't think he was paying attention at all. Regardless, I attempted to halt the bloodshed.
Are you sure both men were able to hear your voice?
They were, of course. My high, exquisite voice echoed through the park. And the victim responded with a clarion call. Quite.
Can you look at the autopsy again? Okay. I was trying to find something that could have said the defendant couldn't even move his head. Tossing the pistol aside.
See, this
So
is
he
the
would've-
that bothered us right away. Why would he toss the pistol away?
That's really weird. And we have the knife there, not the pistol.
Well, the pistol was somehow found. We don't know how yet.
Yeah, good point. Knife's definitely there. If only you could dust that bar for prints.
I'm just skipping through this because I doubt it's not probably nothing important.
Yeah. Hey.
What if this is his phone? Would that be something?
Can't object to it yet.
I feel like we've pressed everything now.
Check the profiles on the guy. Like the character profiles?
We can't pull up profiles right now.
Okay.
Hold it!
Alright, we'll press again. We'll see if something comes up. Find something we didn't find.
You would have found prints.
Oh yeah, there's no prints on it. Yeah, that might be what they're looking for.
Yeah, because if you toss it aside and he's not wearing gloves, who had time to wipe prints?
Objection!
There we go.
Wait a second.
Tis, another misleading request. Yeah, you've been so beholden on your own model of discourse, you can see how it affects you. Right, yeah. What profile did you want to see? Or see
I
his?
wanted to see the defendant's profile. Yeah, nothing there. If there was something saying he was like fearless or something like that, that could have come again.
Wait a second, you say a second. You intend to wait just a single second? 1/60th of a minute? 1/60th of a minute? It's hardly enough time to draw a breath, let alone make a statement in a court. Now, if we ever ask for a longer period of time,
Mr. Justice.
I love how the judge just keeps cutting this Mr. Stickler off. It's like, enough of your rants. Mr. Justice, can you get to the point, please?
Yes, Your Honor? I might understand you're objecting to the length of a second.
I love how we both face palm at the same time. Just like...
Yes, I mean, no. Here, just look at the pistol. It doesn't have a single fingerprint on it.
A common ploy, made of all more common, I fear, by the prevalence of television. Criminals these days are loath to leave fingerprints. Yeah, but you just said he shot and ran away, and there's no fingerprints on it, so...
Wait, but you said the killer tossed the gun and ran. That's right. He didn't have time to wipe off the gun for prints.
Ah, the little girl sticking it to the Ivy University student. There's a song in there.
Not little.
Then let's think like adults, shall we, Fräulein?
Eh?
What if the killer, the defendant, was wearing gloves?
But we have something there with prints.
Nuh-uh, sir.
Gotta admit, I didn't think of that, Apollo.
We can object to that easily.
Well, Mr. Justice? Could the killer have been wearing gloves?
No way. Not a chance.
The record of the murder weapon is very clear about one thing. The fingerprints were white, which means some trace of point prints remained. Which contradicts your testimony. If everything happened as you say it did, you wouldn't have had time to wipe the pistol.
That may be, but it does not change what I saw. The killer, the defendant, he threw the murderous weapon from his hand and fled. Okay, what are these faces he's making? What is this?
Please make that the thumbnail. It reminds me of Senpai Club. I don't know if you know what that is.
No.
Please Google that one later when you're editing.
This pistol was found at the scene of the crime. Strongly suggesting that it was the weapon he disposed of. That sounds solid to me. Well, there, forehead. Any of your precious objections? Yes. Yes, we do object.
What gives, Apollo? Let's see that voice training and go to work. You know, I've only recently realized something. No matter how much you train your voice, it doesn't matter if you have nothing to say. What do you mean, nothing to say?
Come on, Apollo, stop being stupid. We know what we're doing.
Isn't it obvious from what that witness just said? Huh. Isn't it obvious? Isn't what obvious? When he restated what he saw just now, he said Waki dropped a murderous weapon. But that's not the same as being 100% sure what Waki threw away.
That is true. He's not specific as to what it was.
You're right. He's just confused because a pistol was found at the scene. Poor Mr. Stickler. It must be hard to be so perfect and yet so wrong.
Well, I can be said that I'm quite offended. Dude.
His face.
While it is indeed true that I once so to use some seeds my teacher and posted on the blackboard for all to see, this is an application of my poem. My reflection, my name is yet as the issue of it.
What can we say for certain is that the witness saw the killer throw something. Does the defense have anything to say about this? Well, if what he threw wasn't a pistol, then it had to be something else.
At least one person on the defense team seems to be thinking.
Sure, I'll wipe that smile off your pretty face, Gavin. Perhaps you can inform the court of the nature of this something else. What did the killer throw away before fleeing the scene?
It's gotta be the knife. It has fingerprints on it and it was found at the scene. It makes the most sense.
I agree. Is that a sword? I just saw one of those on Late Night Movie last night. I love how like the judge just kind of gives a bit of his personal life sometimes.
Yep.
Great, a sleep-deprived judge. This knife was found at the scene of the crime. The defendant's prints on it. His prints? That single piece of evidence proves two important things. One, that what the defendant threw down wasn't a pistol. Two, that the defendant wasn't wearing gloves. Indeed.
Oh, here, forehead. You're forgetting two other things that you've just proven. You just proved your decline was at the scene of the crime, man. Come on. Yes, but his fingerprints aren't on the pistol, and they were white. So if the witness said he threw down something, if it wasn't the pistol, it had to be the knife. And if he never held the pistol, wasn't him. One, that the man the witness saw was the defendant, Mr. Waki Kitaki. Two,
That is true, though.
that the defendant was holding a knife, which was the intent of harming the victim. Yeah, but the knife wasn't used against the victim, so that doesn't hold. That point two doesn't matter.
Oh. Indeed. Sure, never underestimate Gavin. There's a lesson here. This court is of the opinion that our witness is fond of making assumptions. In that light, I believe it would behoove us to hear about what really occurred. With less assuming, please.
Always the same with you people. Mark left on a house foot. 5 minutes later, his brother left after him. How long would it take for Mark's brother to catch up to him? Assuming that Mark never had to stop at a traffic light.
What speed is he going?
Assuming, yes, what I said, assuming. As if it were a probable situation at all. Yet here you are assuming that my assumption is no better.
What this court assumes is that the witness will testify as to what happened after the shot was fired.
I could not prevent the killer from leaving the scene. Nor could I simply leave the scene in good conscience. I used my cell phone to call the police, Till the police arrived at the scene 10 minutes later, I saw no one else.
Oh, time gap. Why didn't you chase the killer?
Is it between 10:15 and 10:45? We don't have anything else. Can't do anything with his phone, which I'm guessing is his. He's the first person to mention a cell phone, so I'm guessing this might be his. He was, as you say, a killer. Of course, I could not have run him down. Yet, what would he have done when cornered? Sadly, it takes more than an aptitude of solving quadratic equations to know that.
You have to think, if that's his phone, why is it under the car?
The testimony earlier not prove the defendant's presence at the scene? And do we not also know now that there's no one else there? Seems clear that we have our killer. Does it not? See, I think what we need to do, like, we're gonna press him and we're gonna get like a more specific time for him.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be like the police arrived at like 11:30, and that's gonna be like way outside this range.
I think if that's his phone, the phone stopped working, or at least the watch stopped working at the 30 mark.
Yeah, the watch stopped at 9:30, I think is what we saw.
Yeah.
Wait, no, 9:46. Wait, no, it is 9:30. I'm dumb.
That's 9:31, if anything.
Which is still weird why this would be stopped at 9:30.
Does it not, Mr. Justice? Better find a way to take this testimony down quick.
I want to hear about the cell phone.
Wasn't your first thought to call an ambulance?
It can be said that I have dabbled in medicine. The injury I witnessed, namely a single shot to the head, tends to result in death. Ergo, there was no reason for me to call an ambulance. Oh, perfect syllogism. A proof of 3 parts. Exquisite, simply exquisite.
He actually looks like he's gonna cry.
Trucy had a reaction there.
Can you tell us in detail about these 10 minutes? I stood in a state of heightened awareness.
Anything could happen at any moment. Anyone could appear from any direction.
Is that all?
No one came. Nothing happened at all. I saw it all. To say, I saw nothing.
It was late at night. It's not odd to think there would be a few people around in the park. He could testify as to why the state of the body is where it is.
Did we get a time for Phoenix's accident? I don't think we did.
No, he gave us a time.
Do you remember?
Definitely gave us a time. His was, I believe, 9:30 as well.
Ooh.
So 9:30 was the accident. That's why it's in the car, right? So if the car hit him, and that's Phoenix's watch, that'd be Phoenix's.
No, we know
cell
what
phone.
Phoenix's phone looks like. We had it in the
Yeah.
previous case.
True. Cell phone picked up, and then we still don't know where the underwear went. They just stood there watching. Not much to go there. Trucy knows something. Trucy, if you got something to say, by all means, say it. This witness is way too self-assured. There's got to be a weakness somewhere in his testimony.
Hold it!
Which way did the killer run?
By the time, it was clear that the killer had noticed me. Naturally, he ran in the opposite direction.
That would mean he ran the opposite direction from Kitaki Mansion.
Yeah, that would. Aktung, don't even think about pointing out that he was going away from his home. All he had to do was loop back once he was out of sight.
Yeah. How did
Fair
you know
point.
that's where I was going?
And that is kind of a logical thing to do. Like, oh, I'm gonna run this way, but I'm gonna disappear and I'm gonna loop back and go behind into the opposite direction I ran from.
Go in the back door, really. If there was one.
Hold it!
Yeah. I think he left. It was certainly composed for someone who had just witnessed the killing.
If one is to devote one's life to the pursuit of science, one must never flinch at the sight of a little blood, nor to be moved by a chemical discovery that one drops on the flask upon the lab room floor. Oh, cool answer. Very cool.
So nothing strange about how he acted. Lucy looks like she has something to say. I can't find a single problem with that testimony.
Had enough at last, here, forehead?
Maybe it's time to back off a bit. Tactical save!
Tactical save incoming!
I think we should back off and then let something slip.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are like, oh, you never back off. You never back up. No, there are times you just sit back, relax, let them dig their own grave.
They don't have enough, though. Alright, there's nothing fishy about that testimony at all. It appears there are no objections to the witness's current testimony.
There are any number of There are any... Is this supposed to be many?
Yeah.
There are many number of ways to explain the lack of prints on the pistol, I assure you. Perhaps the killer, when it was wearing gloves, and wiped the previous user's prints off. Then, after the deed was done, this fell out of his pocket. As he was throwing it, we got away. A mistake befitting of a small-time punk, in my opinion.
No. No! Seems we come to the end of the line here. No, that can't be at all.
How unfortunate. It seems that you weren't cut out to stand on stage against me. Were you, Airforehead?
I believe this brings the cross-examination to a close. This court will now declare the verdict for the defendant, Waki Kintaki.
There we
Hold
go.
it.
What do you got, girl? What the?
What?
Wait, what?
That's his father. That's his father.
No, that's Phoenix. This is gonna be Phoenix, isn't it?
Trucy.
What the heck? Nobody
move.
moves.
What's the meaning of this? Who are you?
There'll be no verdict in this court. Not yet.
Wait, are you one of the Kitakis? The Kitakis? You mean the notorious gangsters?
You don't want to see me give this pretty little girl a new smile, as you say. Adjourn the court for 20 minutes.
What? This court will not bow to pressure from the likes of...
Hey, Judge. I see a little point in further aggravation of this gentleman. Recess, 20 minutes, or I promise you, you'll regret it.
Wait, how did he disappear so fast? Come to the defendant lobby, Apollo. Well, they have no choice but to adjourn for 20-minute recess. Bailiff, catch that mysterious man.